So going back to professional development, which again the House of PMO is there to support, we've created a number of activities, a number of artefacts that help you do professional development in our profession. Not in the project management profession, not in the IT profession, but in the PMO profession. So the first one that we did was the competency framework. And we would put that under the kind of the job-related experience, because the competency framework allows you to assess where you currently are in terms of knowledge, skills and experience around the various different elements of a PMO manager's role, a PMO role, I forget the bit on the end, a PMO role, and whether that's administrator, analyst, manager or director. So you can assess yourself against any of the kind of the level roles in there, and it will help you to identify what further development is required. So again, you can plan your development activity for the next kind of 6 to 12 months or 3 to 6 months, whatever your timeline is. So that's a really kind of good starting point. Now, interaction with others, well done. You're all here. Yes, so this is the conference. I mean, this is, although we provide lots of speakers and you're doing lots of learning, what people say to us, it's just so lovely to be amongst other people who get me, who get my job, who know what my challenges are, so we can have some of those discussions. So that's kind of one of the key areas that has been now going for 5 years. So before we did the House of PMO, we were already putting some of these things in place, and the House of PMO just allowed us to bring it together under one umbrella. The other things that we do, in the last year we've done over 30 events now. Sadly, they've all been online because of COVID. We do a number of kind of flashmob events which allow you to learn and discuss. And people are always kind of quite surprised when they come onto some of our online events. We let everybody have their cameras on. We let you manage your own mute button. Yes, we let you have to chat to anybody in chat. And they're generally highly interactive, not necessarily in terms of kind of direct conversations with the kind of out loud, but the conversations that take place, it just generates lots of thinking and lots of kind of stimulation for people who are doing their job on a day-to-day basis. And the second logo there, the PMO WFH, anybody guess? Working from home? So when we went into shutdown in the UK, we did a PMO working from home. And then when everybody started to open up again, we thought, well, actually, people may be going back to the office. Well, obviously, we were wrong. And so what we've done is we've reintroduced PMO working from home. But rather than doing it weekly like we did during lockdown, we now do that monthly. So that's like a kind of a magazine show. And again, that's not just us talking. What we do is we try to encourage as many professionals, people who are part of our community, not necessarily just members, but people who attend the events, to say, come and talk for 5 minutes. You don't need to do a 40-minute presentation. You don't need to be able to stand up at the conference. Just come and talk for 5 minutes. Either tell us some good things that you've done, tell us you're having a really bad week, and you'll get some suggestions in terms of how people can help. Or you can ask a question, just blatantly, look, I'm stuck, can anybody help me? So we try to encourage people to fill the slots in that working from home. So again, it's not formal training, it's not formal education. It's really just about providing the opportunity for you to have interactions with other people who are working alongside you. And then we come to the formal education events. Now, how many of you were here yesterday? Just a couple of you. So the day before the conference, we have a formal learning event where it's called PMO Learn, and we spend the day doing 4 topics from 4 different trainers as a proper kind of training event. And there's exercise. We don't have you run around the room, but we do kind of formal exercises where we actually do some kind of debrief and understanding. So really useful. And I know some people actually come to PMO Learn rather than, if they're only allowed one day, they'll come to PMO Learn rather than the conference. Interesting in terms of kind of how their organisations see that. But a lot of the time that Carol and I have an 8 o'clock call every morning. We're kind of knocking this off. But we are now in a position where we have got certifications based on the competency framework for the administrator, the analyst, the manager, And I say the director, which we will have in 3 weeks. Yes.
Yeah.
The other 3 are officially launched. The fourth one has been launched, but I know we've got 2 exam papers we've got to write in the next 2 weeks. So now we've got some formal certifications. So we're not necessarily decrying. There are a few more kind of PMO certifications out there. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to create some specific certifications that said, if you're about to start or want to start doing an administrator job, this is the kind of the base knowledge, gets you into that kind of professional status that says, actually, this introduces you to the knowledge, the experience that you need to be gathering in order to be able to do the administrator job. So what we say, we're not going to teach you absolutely everything you need to know to be an administrator, but we start you on your kind of development role, your development journey for being an administrator. And interestingly, a lot of the certifications say, well, and then you have to kind of work your way up. And we said, well, actually, we recognise that people join the PMO profession at administrator, analyst, manager, or director level. So it's not a case of, kind of they're all kind of building on top of each other. It's a case of if you're going to come into the PMO as a profession at PMO manager level, sure, you might have done project management before, then actually what we've got is an essentials for a PMO manager. And what we're finding really interesting is there are more people kind of coming into the profession at PMO director level that are often coming over from the business, so they've been senior sponsors for big programs, and say, actually, I'm not a project specialist as such, but I recognise, I understand how projects and programs contribute to the strategy, and I'm going to lead the PMO to make sure that actually we can deliver that strategy on behalf of the organisation. So again, we've got that certification for very senior people who are coming in and say, actually, we're going to be doing a PMO director's job.